A test of resilience, a test of strength. Both teams are undefeated in the conference with a 5-0 record as the Otterbein Cardinals look to stay undefeated in the nest. I'm Micah Flack, and welcome to Otterbein TV as the Otterbein Cardinals welcome John Carroll University, the Blue Streaks. 6-0 win streak for them, a 5-game win streak for the Cardinals. Both sit atop the conference right now as John Carroll is 9-1-3 and the Otterbein Cardinals 9-2-2. And Otterbein has been on a roll. The toughest tests were thought to start at the beginning of the conference as Capital and Ohio Northern. They beat Capital 2-1 and then beat Ohio Northern late in that one 1-0. But since then, been easy winning as Muskingum falls to the Cardinals 5-1. Wilmington loses 1-0, and Heidelberg falls. Both teams have losses to the number 6 team in Division III, that being Case Western Reserve. Both teams fell 2-1. Otterbein picks up another loss because of Denison, and that tie for John Carroll, 1-1 to Denison. And John Carroll going to look to win this game up front. That's going to be huge for them. They got 2 players, all OAC a couple seasons ago. Emily Paterzik had 13 goals, and her teammate right alongside her, Madison Rosado, had 7. And we will be right back after the break for the national anthem.
Now time to meet your Otterbein Cardinals.
Actually, excuse me, that'll be the rosters.
Number 5, Morgan
As John Carroll will try to look to push this one up the field, but that will be hard to do. You look at what Otterbein has done with Ella Schwartefeger, has one of the lowest goals against averages for the season, a .59, as she has been helpful in shutting out a couple teams so far as they beat Heidelberg 4-0, then Wilmington 1-0, and Ohio Northern 1-0. And then you look on the other side in goal for John Carroll, Madeline Martin Kosier, the freshman, has came in and really made an impact for this team, has a save percentage of 82%, under a goal against per game, only a .9 goals against average, and that has been huge for them. John Carroll in the blue as Otterbein will wear their signature gold jerseys as they look to stay undefeated. And we will be right back after the playing of the national anthems to give you the starters.
At this time, we invite you to please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome you back into Memorial Stadium, home of the Otterbein Cardinals here in Westerville, right outside of Columbus, Ohio, to give you the starting lineups for John Carroll Blue Streak. Starting in goal, the freshman from Huntsburg, Ohio, Madeline Martin Kosier. The midfielder, the sophomore, number 5, Abby Smith. Will be number 6, the senior defenseman, will be Taylor Wallaber. The freshman and the sophomore will be the sophomore forward, Emily Paterzik. She has 13 goals last season. And you look at the other forward beside her, number 11, the junior Madison Rosado. You look at the midfielder, sophomore, number 15, at Meredith Coloian. The defenseman, the freshman, Brooke Kelly, number 16. The midfielder /4, number 18, Ali Manalinki. And Julia Nihas, the forward defenseman, the freshman, wearing the number 21. Number 29 will be Catherine Schaefer, the defenseman, sophomore. And number 35, Abby Walker, the midfielder, will round it out. And now for the Cardinals, it will be number 1 in goal, the goalkeeper, the sophomore, one of the top defenders, Ella Schwartefanger. Number 5, the senior Morgan Summers. Number 8, the senior defenseman Peyton Kaufman. Number 14, the senior defenseman Sierra Clemens. Number 17, the defender junior Kelsey Louderback. Number 18, the midfielder, the junior Bailey Zanella. Number 20, her sister to Bailey Zanella, the defender, the junior Aubrey Zanella. Number 21, the defender, senior Kaylee Holtz. The forward, senior, number 23, Anjali Anderson. Number 28, the midfielder, sophomore Ray Arbor. And number 31, the midfield junior, Lauren Alley. As they will look to try to knock off one of the top teams in the OAC. John Carroll, 6 games in a row. They'll kick it back, and we'll go right to the midfield. They'll look to attack first. And that'll be given right back to Otterbein. Going to try to create some space as both teams running the 4-4-3. Be playing it to the midfield. So that one will go out for the first throw of the game. And the Cardinals came into this season, a lot of expectations in this game. John Carroll, the previous couple seasons, a lot of question marks for the head coach of Michael Marich. Last season got his first winning record in 3 seasons, went 10-9-2 with a 5-4 record in the OAC. But this has been his best season by far in the past 4, starting off 9-1-3, as both teams have played very good defensively, but especially up front for John Carroll. But they got a back line for Otterbein, and especially their goalie, Ella Schwartefager, who will look to try to kind of stop that. If you look at Peyton Kaufman, one of the OAC premier defenders, that back line will be crucial in a game of attrition. A couple weeks ago, the big game was Ohio Northern. They went 2-1-0 in that game, was Otterbein. A really late goal in the second half put them on tie-up, and that kind of was a sigh of relief for the Cardinals, as they were new. Them and Ohio Northern really have been sharing the title the past 7 seasons, kind of been either one. So that'll be kicked away by Otterbein over the post. It's a nice chilly day here as the fall season has really gotten in full swing. In the upper 50s here at Memorial Stadium, home of all the Cardinals soccer games. And it'll be senior night against Baldwin Wallace on Saturday, and that'll be a big game. And if you win this game for either team, you got to be feeling pretty confident. It'll pretty much give you a 2-game advantage, and that'll be huge for them. As attacking and trying to get there for the kick, and that one will be saved by the goalkeeper. And a huge defend made by Madeline Martin Kosher, just gets her hand right at the crossbar to get it away. And a huge opportunity now for the Cardinals, as they will look to try and make something happen on the set piece. Cardinals will raise the hand and sling it into the box, as that will hit the side of the net. Will now be a goal kick for the Blue Streaks. And this is Otterbein, who's taken 233 shots this season, only given up 118 shots to opponents. A great stat for them, over pretty much double the amount of shots allowed. And corner kicks, that'll be the 77th corner kick for Otterbein. Knows how to work it in space, only giving up 46 to opposing teams. That won't be kicked out on the far side. And that'll be a header attempt, or excuse me, now will be picking up and given to John Carroll as they will look to go the other way. And for the throw-in will be number 6, Taylor Wallaber. She'll look to find her teammate, but give it right back to Otterbein as they press down the left field line. Looking to get by the defender as Taylor Wallaber is right there to get the ball back. But that will be a corner, a costly one at that for the Blue Streaks. Couple step backs onto the track as that won't be high into the box. Will be hit out, and a shot attempt will go over the net. Just hit a little too high as they continue to bring up that shot count. A lot of pressure by Otterbein. Looking to play fast here. Want to get John Carroll not in a rhythm as that won't be kicked long. And that will look right to number 10 of Emily Paterzik, one of the top players for John Carroll. As Taylor Wallaber will look to go for the slide tackle, and her teammate, number 16, Brooke Kelly, tried as well and will not be able to get there. Now Paterzik has the ball going up the middle. Will find it down the left side and will be passed right back to her from her teammate. She'll look for the shot blocked by a Cardinal defender as they'll sky that one to midfield. That'll be taken down the right field side. A kick attempt now back to the defense of Otterbein. As that will be number 29, Catherine Schaefer on the defense. Otterbein will still have the ball to go to the wide areas on the far side. Looking for any opportunity to cut it in, but not able to get there as that one will just be hit out, be called in play, as that one will look to go out, but it will not on the far side, as John Carroll will have the ball. And a lot of high press so far for the Cardinals. A little bit of a bump there by Taylor Wallaber. Brandon Coons, one of the top coaches, been here for over 2 decades for Otterbein, knows what he likes and sees from his team. So far, played a high press. That will be taken at midfield. Kick going long and just barely over the top of the crossbar. That was a long attempt by Otterbein. And didn't look like she got a hand on it was Madeline Martin-Kosher, and they'll say she didn't. She'll go for the goalie kick. That will be hit out. Looking for number 5, Abby Smith, but she's not able to get to it, but she'll get the throw-in. She looks down the right side and just barely over the head of her teammate, Meredith Coolin. She ducks out of the way. And Carroll, excuse me, as that one will be now given to Otterbein. Right on the track side, going down the far side. And a 2-on-1 situation going, looking right down the middle, but that one will be hit away for John Carroll. That was who else but Taylor Wallaber, who has been there so far in this back line, as John Carroll will play 4 back. Look to try to keep a really good Otterbein team at bay. It's an Otterbein team who has taken a lot of shots on goal as well. You look at some of the key players, especially on that forward position. You got to think one of them will be Morgan Summers for the Cardinals. This season has 6 goals, tied her career best back in 2021 with 6. Did it in 13 games this year, has 14 points, has 2 assists. Her most points was in 2021, the senior from Newark, Ohio. Both teams have strong attacking fronts, both very good on the defensive side. Could be a low-scoring affair, but we're just into this one. Only 10 minutes off the clock, just about. So far, been a really back-and-forth affair. Both teams getting a lot of throw-ins. Otterbein got 2 corner kicks, but this is the first time, really, John Carroll has threatened inside Otterbein territories. They'll get a 3rd throw-in opportunity. And another throw-in, a 4th one now for the Blue Streaks. And that will be headed off again. Now make it a 5th one. It just keeps going back and forth on the throws. Finally getting it in to number 5, Abby Smith. That will go down the line as, just barely missing that is John Carroll. That could have been a great opportunity as Abby Smith will have the ball again, but get it taken away from her, and that will be called a foul against the Cardinals. Now will be taking it right about the 21-yard line of Cardinal territory. A couple opportunities here. Maybe go for the shot. Maybe hit it out. Something they'll have to consider here. They line up and go for the shot off a Otterbein defender. A little bit of a bad hit there. Just got the top of the ball as it was going out. And fighting for it is a couple of defenders. That will be number 35, Abby Walker, the freshman from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, fighting with a swarm of Cardinals. And that will be a throw-in for Otterbein. That'll be Abby Smith on the header out. And a couple of opportunities trying to get one set. Being able to hold on to it. It's number 18, Ala McGlinnicky. Now one will look up the middle, trying for the through ball. Not able to, and that will now be another throw-in opportunity. Otterbein will just kick it away, look to get it out of their territory. 2 are back on Otterbein. Playing far is Abby Smith on the right side. Did not get the ball, though. And that will be Otterbein ball, just getting it out of the feet. Be a throw-in for the Cardinals. Now will be back to John Carroll on the throw-in. Plenty of throw-ins so far for each team. Just trying to find any momentum. John Carroll looking up the middle to Abby Smith, just not able to get her foot on the ball in time. But she'll look to make a good play on it. And that'll be taken right back. And number 29, Catherine Schaefer, the defender, will have her foot on the ball and will pass it up the left side. Now back to Otterbein. He's playing a back-and-forth game. John Carroll gets their foot on the ball and will give it right back. Looking for the breakthrough. And closing in on the attacker is Abby Smith, getting the ball away in time. And that'll now be a throw-in to John Carroll. I'll be headed away looking for Emily Petterzik. She will take the throw and, will hand it off to the Cardinal. And the header will be to Catherine Schaefer. She'll get it away, and that be right back. Both teams looking to get an inch of space to make something happen, but none able to do it. And fighting for the ball was Abby Smith. Both teams have not made any substitutions yet early into this game. Just about under 30 minutes to go. And that will be saved and caught right in the chest of the goalkeeper, Madeline Martin-Kosher, the freshman from Notre Dame Cathedral High School. She will boot that one away. And look at how many saves that Otterbein has had this season. They've had 49 compared to others 80, the opponents, and just tells you how many shots Otterbein has taken. And have gotten a couple good looks here, both right above the crossbar. One was on a free kick, and another just on a shot opportunity. And been some really close ones, as Otterbein has a shot on goal percentage of 48%, 107 shots on goal this season out of the 223 taken. And they get 17.2 shots per game compared to opponents' 9, and that'll be huge for them. And so far, in the early part of this game, it's been dominated by Otterbein. 2 corners, 1 shot on goal, and 4 shots. Both teams have 1 foul. John Carroll just has been struggling to figure out how to get the ball in Otterbein territory. Had a couple good looks in around 35 minutes, as they got some throw-in opportunities right out about the Otterbein 20, but that's been really about it through the first part of the first half. Now taking it right up the middle of John Carroll. They'll have plenty of defenders back. That'll be 3. They'll be just hit away, but right back to the Cardinal. That'll be a shot opportunity, or a pass opportunity, excuse me. Now looking upfield, Abby Smith thought about getting on the ball, wanted to run to it, but just not a pass she liked. You can kind of see her hesitate on the far side, and that one will be out. So that will go to John Carroll. Kind of taking their time with the ball. That will be given to Taylor Wolleber for the throw. She'll look for Pattersic. Will not go to her on that one. Back to Wolleber. That'll be hit out. As Otterbein we'll get another throw-in opportunity after the first. Just a little quick dink and dunk on the left side. That one will whip in. John Carroll looking for the header on that one. That will be saved near the corner kick post. And both of these teams just not giving an inch. And so far for Otterbein, Payne Kaufman, the midfielder, has 2 shots. Megan Summers has 1. And Aubrey Zanella also has 1 shot. That 1 shot on goal for Otterbein came from Morgan Summers. And that one will be grabbed by the goalkeeper, making another save opportunity for Martin-Kosher. She'll do a high one, a little bit, looks like a punt. Getting back to that will be Abby Smith, be forced out of bounds. We'll say off of her. Excuse me, that will actually be number 6, Wolleber. the defender, and they're going to say that will be John Carroll. Thought maybe it could have been a foul. Looked like a little bit of a push there. Well, the referee will state that it is Otterbein ball, and a great way to get it back. Kind of stifle the offense a little bit. Otterbein will have 3 closing in on the box. Looking to go one-on-one. John Carroll defender able to get back to it. Number 11, Madison Rosado will now have the ball, and she will pass it back to the left side. And taking it one-on-one with 3 Cardinal defenders, just not able to get any room on that. We'll get the ball back, though, and just hit away. Looking to the wide areas. Passing it back, trying to spread out the defense. A little tight right now for the Cardinals. They'll go up the left side. That'll be hit well right towards the 40-yard line, and that will look for the through ball. Great play by the John Carroll defense. Able to not allow any movement by Otterbein. Looking for the through ball again. John Carroll was just a miscommunication. No one in sight but 2 gold jerseys. And now Otterbein has an opportunity, a shot, and that will be off to the right. And that will add to the tally for East team. Make it another shot for Otterbein. They will now have 6. And then it'll be 2 shots on goal. Now we see a player down on the field. And now able to get up. Looked like she might have been tying her shoe. Is Abby Wolleber. She'll go to the right side of the keeper. She'll get it, bring it up. And that one will be skied in the air. The header by John Carroll. That was number 35, Abby Walker, on the headbutt. And keeping the ball in, not entirely. Now will be back to John Carroll. Looked like it might have kept it in for a brief moment, but able to force it out. And this is a defense for John Carroll that has been very productive so far this season. I looked at what they've been able to do. As they will look to try to get their first opportunity, a really good shot here. That'll be back to number 35, Abby Walker. She'll try to get it inside, but give it right back to Otterbein. That'll be hit up in the air. Now another opportunity, just a miscommunication. See a possible opportunity for some subs here, as it's under 25 to go. You look at John Carroll, kind of what they've done so far this season is 21 goals to opponents' 11. You get about 1.6 goals per game. They take a lot of shots as well, a lot like Otterbein, have over 200 shots to opponents' 160. Shot on goal percentage, 43%, rounded up to 44 to 43.8. Now we'll see some substitutions now for the Cardinals towards the midpoint of the first half. We're on a new rotation 4. And this is really a John Carroll team that plays aggressively. We have 105 fouls on the season. A lot compared to the average that they've played against so far. So they The other team has 99, so right about similar as a team that wants to play aggressive and look for opportunities at any cost. And you kind of can see the teams both playing very clean, only one foul apiece. Has not really gotten any chippy, and that will go right back out. Trying to make the sprint for it was number 6, the defender Taylor Wolliber. Cardinals looking for an opportunity now, one-on-one. And now getting right back to it to hit it out. And you look at the leaders in shots for both teams. Morgan Summers and Payne Kaufman both have 2 for Otterbein. That will be skied towards the right side. Otterbein not able to get to it. And Meredith Kaloyan has the one shot for John Carroll. So that one will go out. Now will be Otterbein as the referee signal with the neon green jerseys. Definitely are very bright in these lights here at Memorial Stadium, home of the Cardinals. Both teams been very aggressive on defense, but it's been really all Otterbein, especially in this first half. And shots already have taken 5 in the first half. Setting up for the free kick right at the 50. And it'll be hit by number 29, Catherine Schaefer. A scrum for the ball that will hit down the right side. Otterbein trying to track it back, but John Carroll will have a look at the ball, and that will be hit right at the benches. Be given to Otterbein on the throw-in. You can hear the whistle blow. Just kind of hold the ball for a second, and now the play has started. Will be given off. As 3 defenders back for the Cardinals. Everyone else pressing forward. You look at the defense for the Cardinals, has had a lot of success. Payne Kaufman has done really a lot so far on the offense. Has already taken 2 shots, been kind of playing both sides of the field. But Payne Kaufman has been a terrific player at Otterbein, and she'll be a senior. She'll be able to get recognized. And senior night against Baldwin Wallace. And right around the area from Westerville and went to Olatangi Orange, and 3-year starter at Otterbein. And what an opportunity and an attempt for the Cardinals. That won't be hit inside, but able to get it away is John Carroll. Could have been a dangerous situation for the Blue Streaks. Now it'll just be a throw-in instead. And that'll be hit out, given to the Blue Streaks. But you talk about Payne Kaufman, a 3-time All-OAC player, 2-time All-Academic, a 2-time All-Ohio, All-Region, and was 2021 All-OAC Defender of the Year. Quite a prestigious career, donning the red and gold. Just been a solid defensive line in general for Otterbein. Besides her, you just look at this back line and play 4 in the back, and it's been phenomenal for the Cardinals. Sierra Clemens back there as well. Started all 19 contests last season and helped guide the unit to 10 shutouts last year, and one of the best marks in the OAC. And they've been very productive so far this season as well with those shutouts. Have 7 shutouts on the season. One of those shutouts was a tie. But you talk about John Carroll, this is really a team that hasn't lost a game since Case Western Reserve at the beginning of the season. And you look at them now, Case Western Reserve ranked number 6 in the nation according to the coaches' polls. Both teams lost to Case Western Reserve as Otterbein was leading early. That was the homecoming game, leading early in that first half. And just gave it away in the second half, and that allowed plenty of opportunities for Case Western Reserve. But John Carroll, since losing to Case Western Reserve, have not lost in 12 contests since then, have 3 ties, but have 9 wins. One of the hottest teams in Division III right now, especially in the OAC. There's a lot of question marks really coming into the season as we see a foul on the trip. And that will go right back to John Carroll. But John Carroll, over the past couple seasons, have been having some really interesting times. Last season, 10-9-2, a 5-4 record. The year before that, 7-11-1, and the year before that, 4-5-1. That was the COVID year, so not as many games played that season. But just been a really just kind of middle-of-the-pack team, and we'll see a through ball right for Otterbein. Going to be one-on-one opportunity here, and that will be a great stop by the defender. And that was the midfielder, Meredith Kalayan. And what a stop she had. It was a one-on-one with Otterbein. You get it past that. A free opportunity. A huge stop will just force the throw-in now for Otterbein. We're going to see them whip it into the box, and that will be right past the diving head of the forward. That will go well right of the goalpost. And now we will see a substitution as number 30, Sarah Ganosa, will come on to play for John Carroll, the midfielder, the freshman from Fairview, Pennsylvania. Went to Fairview High School, and pretty similar to another Fairview school we have in Cleveland, Ohio, right around the John Carroll area. Fairview Heights, to be exact. And the free kick opportunity right at the 38-yard line will go right into the hands of Madeline Martin Kozier. And you got to think, looking back, that opportunity that Otterbein had, a one-on-one situation, it was a great read by the midfielder. But a perfect opportunity for Otterbein if they could have gotten to it. Kaolin had the opportunity and took advantage on the one-on-one, got it away from Otterbein, but that was the best look of the night so far in the first half. And just a couple opportunities here and there. Otterbein looking very close. They've taken 5 shots. John Carroll will look to try to make something happen here in the final 13 minutes. But John Carroll, when you go back to it, just been a team that has been kind of in the midfield for most of their tenure in the past 3 seasons, 5-4 in the OAC in 2022. You look at 2021, 2-7. You look in 2024, 4-1. The outlier in the OAC was 2021 being 2-7. But just kind of a middle-of-the-road pack, a team that finishes kind of right in the middle of the conference standings. But this season has really taken a huge turn as we're going to see a soccer ball bounce into the stands after the kick. As a fan will maybe go to get that. And right off the heels. That will be number 35, Abby Walker, who has the ball. Now will pass it back to one of her teammates. As they sprint down the left field line, looking wide, an opportunity if they get in the box and get past the defender. John Carroll just not able to, though, and now sprinting back to try to make the play. And that will not be a foul, as John Carroll will have bodies but not able to get it there. The midfield looking out wide, be right to number 17, Emma West of Avon Lake, Ohio. And be given right back to number 35, Abby Walker. Just passing it around, trying to create some room. As the first half is almost 80%, about 80% done so far, just under 11 minutes to go. Both teams scoreless so far. And you look at their most recent games, especially for Otterbein, in the past 3 games, they have had 10 goals to the opponent's 1. The only goal was Muskingum, who got 1. But since then, both teams have just been dominant. You look at what John Carroll did recently in their season, just been phenomenal as well in their past couple games. Beat Ohio Northern 2-1, a fierce Ohio Northern team. Beat Baldwin Wallace 1-0. And a new Lucy Whitmore will come on for the Cardinals. Trying to make a couple substitutions. That will be headed in. A change as Rachel Bolo, the defender, number 12, will come in for John Carroll as well. You see, looking at number 23, Rachel Bolo, that was for Otterbein, but you look at number 12, Gianna Mario. And that'll be a foul back to Otterbein, as Emma West will kick it right towards the players. They'll get the ball at the 35-yard line. That will be hit well right towards the Otterbein player. They'll chase that one down right at the left field goal, the post, and try to take it one-on-one. Not able to get it there, though, and trying to bring it down is the defender. That was number 23, Lucy Altieri, excuse me. John Carroll, we're going to try to get more shots off, under 8 minutes to go. But you look at what their schedule has been, and they beat Ohio Northern 2-1. That was one of the big games earlier in the season for the Cardinals. They beat Ohio Northern 1-0, and they got a early goal right about the 50-minute mark in that second half to beat the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. And that was just a huge win for the Cardinals. Had a brutal way to open up the season and had to play Capital and Ohio Northern back-to-back. Well, we're able to get through those 2 games. Now play John Carroll, who has been very good as well. And you think if whoever wins this game, you could probably drop a game if you had to. I don't think either team would want to do that willingly, but if one team does, you're probably at least 2 games up, you would think. So there's an opportunity to do that. And you just look at the standings right now for the OAC. John Carroll and Otterbein sit atop of it. Right behind them is Capital at 3-2, 8-6-1 overall. Right behind them is Baldwin Wallace at 3-2, and Ohio Northern at 3-2. So they're if something really collapsed, if a team really did, any of those teams will look to pick up the pieces. Ohio Northern, one of the teams over the past, have been phenomenal. We'll see a sub come on for the Blue Streaks. Coming on is number 7, Gabriella Walter, the senior defender from Kent, Ohio.
For John Carroll, number 7, Gabriella Walter.
And coming off was number 15, Meredith Colonian. She will get a rest before half. Just a tight race in the OAC. None of the OAC teams ranked, but all have been very good. The OAC, just a competitive league, and you talk about Ohio Northern, 4-8-1 overall. Had some really tough stretches, though. At one point, they played 4 ranked teams in a row, or one and then another. Played some really tough, steep competition, and their record is a little bit misleading, but they're 3-2 in the conference. Both of those losses come against John Carroll and Otterbein, who are playing tonight. As Baldwin Wall 7-6-1, we'll look to try to get the win tonight. You look at the other games going on. Capital Marietta, that's going to think a huge game for Capital as they'll look to win that. And then Muskingum at Mount Union are the other 2 games going on right now. That'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals. You can see John Carroll really pushing that high press. Only 2 defenders back, now 3. And they were looking to make something happen here. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. You check on the other scores of the games. Capital is beating Marietta 2-0 as they've played over 31 minutes in their game. And then you look at the other game, Muskingum at Mount Union. And Mount Union is beating Muskingum 2-0. So if those games hold off, we'll see Capital move to 4-2. And Mount Union to 2-4, and Muskingum will fall to 0-5-1, and Marietta would fall to 1-3-2. There's a lot of teams playing John Carroll for Otterbein, the women's volleyball team and men's soccer team, both playing John Carroll at John Carroll. The men's team has had a lot of success recently as of late, as they will play the number 16 team, according to the polls, in John Carroll. And you just talk about what a great team it has been for Otterbein, as they're 4-0-1. The only team they're behind is John Carroll, so if they get a win tonight, that could put them in the driver's seat in the division. They sit at 8-2-3, but John Carroll looking very good at 11-2-1, and one of the top players or top teams in the OAC. And just what a phenomenal team it has been for the men's team. Had a lot of great wins so far this season. And just Jason Griffith just getting his team going. And he begins his 7th season as the head coach of Otterbein. He holds a record of 70-28 and A, one of the better soccer programs around. You know, he was one of the best coaches early in his career. When he got hired, he got at Otterbein to a 19-3 record, including a 17-game win streak to go undefeated in the Ohio Athletic Conference, and has got them rolling again here. But currently the women are taking on John Carroll at home as all Otterbein teams look for the win. As that won't be hit right up the middle by number 23 of John Carroll, Lucy Altieri. And now just at about 2 minutes to go on the clock. Going to have to play quickly here, either team. They want to look to score before halftime. 6 shots for Otterbein. They've just dominated the stat sheet so far in this first half. But John Carroll has fought back and got a couple opportunities. It'll be hit up the middle, and that will be hit away by Otterbein. An opportunity one-on-one, able to get back to it is the defender of John Carroll, but what a huge mistake that almost could have been. Looking for the header was John Carroll, went over the head one of the players, and almost looked like Otterbein might have been able to get to that, and you break away there, and that's a huge opportunity with 1:15 to go. Otterbein has it deep in John Carroll territory as they'll look to try to make something happen. They'll get a second throw, and now less than a minute to go in the first half. Otterbein looking to strike first. I'll be hit right to Otterbein. That will look right up the middle. As John Carroll goes back for that one. Otterbein will have it, though, as they'll look to be composed here. The right side will be crossed in. Now it will be Otterbein a ball, a throw in under 25 seconds to go in the first half. Got to play quickly, and that will be given right back to John Carroll. You got to think that might end the half. As Otterbein had a couple opportunities, especially in D, just could not figure it out. As both teams played a great first half, low scoring, 0-0. And that will do it in the first half as the Cardinals of Otterbein and the John Carroll Blue Streaks are tied 0-0 at the break. John Carroll looking to come back after giving up over 6 shots, only had 1, but 2 saves will mark the end of the first half. And we will be back after the halftime break for the second half coverage on Otterbein TV.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. The best part about playing soccer is that I get to run around and have fun. Just because I had a heart transplant, I don't expect people to take it easy on me. I can still do anything they can do. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live. I feel like it's my responsibility to live each day to the fullest. And the thing I look forward to the most is having my own family.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Did you receive a call or message that mentioned Social Security and demanded immediate action? Did the caller know your Social Security number or other personal information and tell you that your Social Security number had been used in connection with the crime? Did you feel worried that your Social Security number might be suspended, your bank account might be frozen or seized, or you could be arrested? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, demand your personal information, or instant payment, email or text you pictures or documents, or use a real government official's name to gain your trust. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Do not be fooled. Hang up. Ignore them. Report this criminal activity to the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place and instead of what you came for, you found this? What would you do? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
Using meth taught me everything about freedom, only not like you think. It taught me how easy it is to lose your freedom, how meth can take control until you find yourself doing whatever meth tells you to do. Before you get there, while you still can, take a stand for yourself. If you feel yourself losing your freedom to meth, ask for help. Accept the help. It's worth it. You have the power to be truly free and be the person you want to be. I know. I'm Jan, and I'm free from meth.
If you or someone you know is struggling with meth, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/meth.
Okay, I know what you're going through. Too much time inside, not enough outside. And what's up with the parents? They're in their own world. So maybe it's time to change things yourself. Yeah, you go first. Parents are people too. And the stresses you're feeling, you can bet they're feeling as well. Visit yourlifeyourvoice.org for some game-changing ideas on how you can turn things around at your house. When you go first, everybody wins.
Oops. Uh-oh. Sorry.
Get on top of it before they do. Every 24 minutes, tipped furniture or a falling TV sends an injured child to the emergency room. Preventing tip-over incidents is easy, inexpensive, and only takes 5 minutes. Learn how to secure your furniture and TVs to protect children at anchorit.gov.
What if one day you went to that secret place, that spot that only you know about, and instead of what you came for, you found this? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
Parenting your teen, it might be time to take a new approach. Visit boystown.org/parenting. Whether you're the parent of a toddler, teen, or someone in between, we've got parenting guides, articles, videos, quick tips, and even live parent talks with Boys Town experts. Boys Town, take your parenting skills to new heights.
The one thing that every Otterbein student has had in common since 1871 is that they have lived, worked, and taken classes in Towers Hall. When the building was built, it had circular wooden staircases to get from floor to floor. We are told that the children of the janitors who used to live in the basement would frequently climb to the top of the building and slide down the banister. Back in those days, when there was nothing cutting off the wall, there were windows in the stairwells. Here you can see the remains of one of the openings. An interesting story about the staircases: when the fire code required that cement staircases be put in, the bid was put out to local contractors, and there was one local contractor that came back with a bid that was half of what everybody else had offered. They were a respectable business. There was no reason to think that they were cheating the university, so obviously that's the one that we went with. It turns out that they only gave us an estimate for one staircase, not the two that were required. However, it was their fault, not ours, and so they made good, and for that reason, we got two staircases for the price of one. Here on the second floor, there's a lot to talk about. To my left here is the curved wall that is all the remains of the University Chapel. It was interesting in the chapel days that what would happen is the freshmen and sophomores would be banished to the upper balcony because the juniors and seniors, being the serious scholars that they were, wanted to be down on the ground level close to the faculty. These days, I think it's safe to say that the seniors would be in the very back of the chapel up against this curved wall. On the other side of the second floor, we have what was the very first library for the university. It was first organized by Professor, later President, George Scott, and Tirzah Barnes, Otterbein's first official librarian. Books were cataloged under the new Dewey Decimal System and were available to check out during the 2 to 4 hours each week that the library was open. Originally, there were separate hours for the men and women to use the library, but by the start of the 20th century, it was a coeducational facility. Coming back to the curved wall, this is one of my favorite projects because I can proudly say I had a bit of a hand in it. When Dr. DeVore, our 19th president, was set to retire, we were looking for ways to honor him. And one of the things that we'd always talked about doing was a president's gallery to honor the men who had led this university over the years. So, looking at this lovely curved wall, the last remnant of the chapel, it was decided that this would be the perfect place to set up and create the gallery. The text was written by former President Dr. Thomas Jefferson Kerr, based on a program that he did for the Westerville Historical Society several years prior to that. I pulled together a bunch of photographs, and thanks to the wonderful folks in marketing and institutional advancement, we were able to come up with what they called the surfboards to mount everything. You'll notice that these are reminiscent of the windows that you see throughout Towers Hall. A president goes on the wall after they have retired. Dr. Crendell is therefore the most recent one. Dr. Comerford will not go up until after he is retired. On the third floor of Towers Hall, the university gave the 4 literary societies rooms. That's all they gave them, empty rooms, and said, you can outfit them. At the time of the construction, there were now 4 of the literary societies, 2 for the men and 2 for the ladies. We start down here with the Clyredian room for the ladies, today faculty offices.
Welcome you back to Memorial Stadium as John Carroll and Otterbein are tied 0-0 after the first half of play, but it was a lot of Otterbein in that first half. Had 6 shots to John Carroll's 1, 3 corners, and 2 of those 6 shots were on goal. Just amazing team defense as John Carroll got to get those 2 top players involved. Your Emily Paterzik, who had 13 goals last year, and then Madison Rosado, who had 9 goals last year, 2 of the top forwards in the OAC, both all OAC a season ago. And I'll look to try to get them more involved and give more out in the wide areas. Just got to try to spread out that Otterbein defense, and if you're Otterbein, got to take more advantage of your opportunities. Had a couple one-on-ones, a couple shots that went over the crossbar. Got to be able to make those finishes as we go to the second half, as Otterbein will go left to right, as John Carroll will go right to left now. So Otterbein will get the ball first to start the second half. John Carroll got it in the first half, and now another 45 minutes to go. And the end of regulation. And the second half will start right at 8 o'clock. And now we'll go right to Otterbein. John Carroll going to play very aggressive here in the first half. They're going to look down the wide field lines and gave it right to their forward. Just not able to get a good shot on it. As number 11, Madison Rosario, looks to pass it inside of the box, but that will be in the hands of the goalkeeper, Ella Schwartefeger. 5'8" sophomore from Lewis Center, and went to Olatanji. That'll be hit by Madison Rosado. Right to the center, back underneath that one. As Otterbein will maybe try to change the tempo a little bit. Brandon Coons, the head coach for the Cardinals. Micah Flack along with you for the second half. Otterbein and John Carroll. As John Carroll looks to come into the nest of Otterbein and upset the Cardinals. And the Cardinals on a 5-game win streak. John Carroll on a 6-game win streak if you're just tuning in. Both teams have had phenomenal seasons so far. Otterbein comes into this game 9-2-2, and John Carroll 9-1-3. John Carroll has been a monster to start the season, and really into that halfway point as they've figured it out. They lost their first game to Case Western Reserve, and now since then have ripped off 9 wins in 12 matches, with 3 ties. But the big thing to realize, in those 12 games have not lost since the first. And John Carroll, one of the hottest teams in the OAC besides Otterbein. Both teams defeated Ohio Northern, who is 3-2 on the season, but was one of the top favorites in the OAC. As ONU moves to 3-2 in the conference. As Otterbein won 1-0 late in the second half on that game, and then John Carroll won 2-1. And John Carroll and Otterbein take a lot of shots. Both teams have taken over 200 shots coming into this game, but Otterbein has really been the one to take most of those shots. They came into the second half now with 6 shots to John Carroll's 1, but both teams shooting well under their usual average, as Otterbein averages over 17 shots per game. But John Carroll has just held them under that, and it's been a huge back and forth affair for the teams. John Carroll looking to try to make something happen as they get over 16 shots per game, so right around the same. Both teams very similar in how they play, very aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. And both look to try to create opportunities in the wide space. And that one will be hit out, given to John Carroll. Now be a throw-in. The throw is good to a John Carroll player, but multiple Cardinals draping her. And that one will go wide right of the goalkeeper, Ella Schwartefeger. You can hear a little bit of the crowd is going after that one, and just been close all night. One of the closer attempts other than the shot by John Carroll. And you just kind of look at who took that shot. And that was Rosardo who got the one shot. Oh, excuse me, that was Kalane, the midfielder who got the shot. And then you look at the goalkeeping for each team, as Kosher has been phenomenal so far in 45 minutes, has 2 saves. Has really been able to help keep Otterbein off the board. You look at Otterbein coming into the second half, the starters have over 5 shots, and most of those coming from the midfielder of Peyton Kaufman, who has 3. She has 1 shot on goal, and then Megan Summers, who has the other shot on, Morgan Summers, who has the other shot on goal and 1 shot attempt. And then the other shot comes from the defender of Aubrey Zanella, and then on the other forward of Angelique Anderson. And just haven't seen much of Angelique Anderson, or AJ, as she's been called so far this season as well. Just not seen a lot of her, and just not really seen a lot of these 2 really good forwards for Otterbein. Angelique Anderson came into this season after starting all 16 matches and led the team and ranked 10th in the OAC in scoring. It was named first team all OAC and third team all Ohio. One of the best seasons of her career last year. Had 6 goals and 6 assists. But she has not really gotten a lot of opportunities, nor has Morgan Summers, another very good player as well. And John Carroll will now look to push the ball up. That will be on the feet of number 15, Meredith Kalane, who has the 1 shot opportunity for the Blue Streaks. And now that will be a goal kick for Schwartefeger, as both teams trying to get anything going. No momentum, and so far it's just feels like whoever gets that first goal is just going to feel a mountain of relief, but also just build such a big wall to overcome. Feels like a 1-goal game could feel like 2 or 3 goal difference. John Carroll will have the forces going up the middle of the pitch, and that won't be a shot opportunity right in the hands. The first shot on goal by the Blue Streaks of the night. That'll be their second shot of the game. And what a big shot for them. And just you start off this second half, and it's really in these early minutes, still plenty of time to go. Been all of John Carroll. They've been 4 shots and gotten 1 on goal. That's been huge for them, as that came by Paterzik, who had 13 goals last season, one of the top forwards so far this season as well, with 11 goals already on the season. And that'll go right down the left line into the white areas, and that will be hit out of bounds by number 10, Emily Paterzik. And that will force the throw-in for Otterbein. And that will be got by her teammate, the other forward, but immediately, and that'll be number 15, Meredith Colleen. As Colleen will look down the right side. And that'll now be a throw-in, and just a little bit so far in this first half, but it's already been a lot of John Carroll. They've gotten 4 shots, 1 on goal. But Otterbein has 1 corner, and they faced all 4 shots so far. And John Carroll just becoming more aggressive in the second half. As now that will go to Otterbein. Number 16, Brooke Kelly, was on the ball, but then just immediately left it. Now the free kick right at the red line. Otterbein looking for a really good opportunity here. That will be skied right into the box, and here we go, an opportunity. The ball's on the ground, and that will be smothered up. A great play by the goalkeeper, Madeline Martin-Kosier, on the stop, and that'll be the first shot and shot on goal by Otterbein. And what a huge attempt by them. The ball was on the ground for a little bit, but diving on it was the goalkeeper. Otterbein is denied a really good opportunity. Just a bunch of free kick opportunities. No goals so far. Now, if you tie this game, both teams would be 5-0-1 in conference play. But, you know, there's still plenty of games left on the schedule for more opportunities. You look at what you have. If you're John Carroll, you still got a tough game to play against Capital after this. At Capital, October 21st. And then they have Mount Union and Muskingum. And then if you look at Otterbein's schedule, they look to kind of continue their winning streak as well. Both teams would tie here, wouldn't technically lose the win streak, as they would have not lost in 5 games. But they'll have Baldwin, Wallace, Marietta, and Mountain Union. And you look at Baldwin, Wallace kind of been solid as well, 3-2 in the conference. And those could be some trap games, especially towards the end of the season. And if both results stayed the same, they both want the exact thing, and that will go right to the goalkeeper looking for the shot. And Martin Kosier will have another look at it. Put it right in her hands, so she'll go for the kick. Now, both went undefeated in the conference, had a tie. If the results were the exact same at the end, the regular season title would go to the opposing team, and in this scenario would be John Carroll. From what I was told, it used to be based off of goal difference, but now that is not like that. So if the results were the exact same at the end of the season, John Carroll would have the opportunity. But Baldwin Wallace will be a big game on Saturday. That'll be a senior night for the women's soccer team. They'll also be the final home game of the season. And then October 25th, they'll be at Marietta, and October 28th at Mount Union to wrap up the season. And they'll head into the OAC tournament after that, as they're looking to be the #1 seed going into that, and so is John Carroll. Both teams have had very good seasons so far. As it starts to get colder, and start to see that in the Bright Center to the left, basketball starting to get into swing here soon enough, and they'll start playing as they look to have a very good season as well coming into it. And Otterbein just had a lot of good seasons so far. The men's soccer has looked very good. You look at women's soccer as well. And volleyball, who's actually taking on John Carroll right now, a very good season as well. They kind of go into John Carroll at 16-7. They're 5-0 in the conference. They are on a 9-game win streak. So Otterbein Athletics has looked very productive so far. John Carroll, though, on the other side, has looked very productive as well. The men's team in soccer is ranked, and so is the women's team looking very strong in the OAC. And that one will be taken, one-on-one opportunity. The shot, and that will be off to the left. And what a save by the goalkeeper of Madeline Martin Kosher. She dives to her right to make the play, and that'll be a shot on goal. And a third save for the goalkeeper. And that's a huge one for them, and a big save as Otterbein gets its first real shot of the second half. And that'll be a header by Otterbein as the Cardinals will lose the ball, and we're going to see a foul come out, and that will be possession John Carroll. It's getting him slowly is Brooke Kelly, the defender, the freshman. See a couple freshmen starting in this lineup for John Carroll. You look at the goalkeeper, Madeline Martin Kosher, and then the defender, Brooke Kelly, is getting the start. And then Julia Niehaus, also a freshman, playing that defender spot, also in her first season with the Blue Streaks. And then Abby Walker as well, the midfielder. That's 4 freshmen starting on 11-man. And this is a one-on-one opportunity. They're going to call it offsides. And wow, what a turn of events, and that could have looked very close. And just a little bit past the nearest defender. But if that wasn't offsides, that's a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper for the Cardinals. Now under 30 minutes to go, 15 minutes already passed. Otterbein has the ball deep in their own territory, blocked in the chest. And that will be called a foul, maybe a handball possibly. That will go to Otterbein. It's now John Carroll, you can see on the track, just starting to warm up. A lot of their players are. Might see a big substitution for some of them. Otterbein led by a lot of veterans on their team, and a lot of juniors and seniors as well. They'll have a single freshman starting in the starting lineup, a couple of sophomores, but mostly made up of juniors and seniors for a very experienced team under head coach Brandon Coons. Brandon Coons, over 2 decades of experience with Otterbein, plenty of experience beyond that in coaching with soccer, and he had a lot of great seasons. And you look at the previous year, John Carroll fell to Otterbein in a close 1-0 victory thanks to an early first half goal, which helped Otterbein secure the win against the Blue Streaks in University Heights, as they look to maybe try to repeat that here tonight. John Carroll looking to outlose for the 2nd straight year in a row to the Cardinals. And you just look at Otterbein, this will mark their 9th home match of 11 total this fall. And with the team currently 5-2-1 in Memorial Stadium, and the Cards, since the beginning of 2018, have one of the best records in the OAC at home, 39-6-4 at home, a very, very good home record, playing in front of the Cardinal faithful. They're looking to make that 40 wins at home. That'll be hit out of bounds near the far side. That will now go back into Otterbein, who has the ball. Just looking for any opportunity possible. And we might see a cross here from Otterbein. Has it inside and deep in the box, and that will go off Otterbein. Kicked it off the John Carroll defender. Excuse me, that will now be a corner kick right off the John Carroll defender. Now a huge opportunity for the Cardinals. This will be their second corner kick. And that'll be right inside the box, whipped it in very quickly there on the header, going back in for it, and that will be picked up by the goalkeeper of Madeline Martin Kosher. And Otterbein, you talk about those 5 consecutive wins. 2 of those matches were winning 2 game-winning goals by senior Morgan Summers. And 2 of those 5 consecutive wins were won by a goal in a huge, huge game for Morgan Summers in those 2. And that's been huge in helping the Otterbein Cardinals really stay in command of a top spot going into the OAC tournament, but also trying to win the regular season title as well. And since 1989, the Cardinals have been in command of the series against the Blue Streak, claiming victories in 22 out of the previous 38 games. Very good record for them compared to John Carroll's 16 wins in the previous 38. So good command of the series, 6 games difference. I'll be in the hands of the goalkeeper, Ella Schwartefeger. She'll boot that one past the 50. You talk about the other games going on around the conference. There's a lot so far. You look at what's been going on in soccer, as Capital was defeating Marietta 2-0, and Muskingum was losing 2-0 to Mountain Union. And you check the schedule and scores currently. Just look at what's been going on around the league. And look at what's going on currently, as Baldwin Wallace also playing against Heidelberg. And Baldwin Wallace, a team to watch. The Cardinals will play them on Saturday. Baldwin Wallace looking to move to 4-2 in the OAC. Baldwin Wallace up 1-0 after playing at 27 minutes in the second half. And you look on the other side, Wilmington is playing Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern, another team looking to move to 4-2, as they're defeating the Quakers 2-1 after 32 minutes played in the second half. Just some very good games so far. You go into Capital. They played 53 minutes so far between the first and second. They're up 3-0 on Marietta. So far, all the teams vying for second place look to move to 4-2. And they will look to try to pick up the pieces if anyone falls short tonight and then falls again next week. And you look kind of at what John Carroll has after this. You look at Capital, you look at Baldwin Wallace, and just some huge games later. And Mount Union also defeating Muskingum 3-0, so another team that will move to a better record as well, as they're lower in the conference standings. As Marietta kind of low on the standings, and so is Muskingum. It's like a lot of teams just vying for those second or especially those third positions, third and fourth. That'll be picked up by the goalkeeper of John Carroll. She's seen a lot of action, is Martin Koger. Martin Koger will hit it back and will give it right to the hands of number 30, Sarah Januso, the midfielder, the freshman out of Pennsylvania. One of the few players outside the state of Ohio, is a couple teams, a couple of players from Michigan and 3 from Pennsylvania on John Carroll's roster. And they also have someone from New York as well, Boston, New York to be exact, actually. A little bit funny is that. Think of Boston, Massachusetts, but Boston, New York. And from Boston, New York is Aaron Schneider, the midfielder. She wears the number 3, coming off the bench tonight. And a one-on-one opportunity now for the Cardinals, and that will be given back. Possible opportunity to get it in the box. And now that will be a corner kick for the Cardinals, as this will be their 4th corner, and they will see 4 substitutions. Four substitutions made now for the corner attempt. All the players wide outside of the box, and the whistle blows, and that will be hit. A little bit of a bullet, a missile, and that will be given by the outside. That will be taken into the box. Be picked up again by the Otterbein player. One-on-one opportunity, looking to go back in the box again. And that will be hit out by John Carroll. Multiple opportunities on that. As we've seen, both teams really start to come alive, especially offensively, as both teams have made things happen. There's been 4 corners for Otterbein, as both teams have at least 1 shot on goal. John Carroll 4 shots, Otterbein 3. All 3 of those shots on goal. That will go right into the hands, but now we're going to see it go bounce out back to the Otterbein player. And that will be out and just bounced out of the hands, off the chest of the goalkeeper, Madeline Martin Koger. And she's lucky that just didn't have anything there, as the player was facing back towards the net. Weren't going to be able to really do much with that. So try to get it out to one of her teammates. And Otterbein really threatening again into this game. Under 20 minutes to go in the second half. Both looking for any opportunity here. Don't want to end up with a tie, both teams. And that'll be a collision, as the Otterbein player will run into number 30, Sarah Genoso. John Carroll has the ball. Sarah Genoso will go look inside the box. As an Otterbein player slipped, and oh my goodness, we're going to see an own goal here by the Otterbein, and just hit way too high by the Otterbein defender trying to get it. Was the goalkeeper of Ella Schwartefeger, but a huge mistake. And that's going to be counted as an own goal against the Cardinals, and that'll put John Carroll up 1-0. And what a big mistake by the Cardinals, as that will give John Carroll a big lead. And what a mistake. And just a hit off the touch, maybe looking to go back to her goalkeeper, was the Otterbein player, and just, I'm going to say the jersey number on that, it just went too high and tried to make the jump for it. Was Ella Schwartefeger, just didn't time it right, and it comes back in, bounces into the goal, and what a way to score the first goal. And they're going to give
Credited to 17, Emma West.
Emma West will get the goal, and she'll be assisted by Sarah Genoso. And that'll be the first goal of the night. Emma West will pick up the goal on that, and what a big mistake. What a huge mistake by the Cardinals. That's really going to hurt them. And you look at Emma West, and that will be her second goal of the season. That'll be 2 goals now, as last season, being the sophomore as she is, did not get any goals or assists, but this season has made the most of her opportunities, as she will have 2 goals now, and she'll have been assisted by her teammate, Sarah Genoso. And Sarah Genoso came into this game with no assist. That'll be her first assist of her career. Came in with 2 goals, though, in 13 matches played. A good start to her freshman campaign so far. 2 goals and an assist. She's taken 22 shots with 7 shots on goal. And what a turn of events that is. As Emma West will get the goal off the own goal by the Cardinals. And now you're going to have to see the Cardinals really start to press hard here, just trying to make anything happen offensively after giving up the own goal. Giving up to Emma West. And that is a huge mistake. John Carroll looking to break the win streak of Otterbein, but looking to go 7-0 themselves in the last 7 and move their win streak out. That'll make it 10 wins in the past 13 games if they can win tonight. Otterbein looking to try to equalize it. That will be a free kick opportunity out wide. It'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals. Just about 16 minutes to go on the clock. Still plenty of time. So that'll be right up the middle for the possible shot attempt. Blocked by a John Carroll player. That'll be a header. Be grabbed on the chest. That will look out wide, and that'll be grabbed by the goalkeeper of Madeline Martin Kosher. You look at the John Carroll will have the ball, looking to try to keep it in and off their own side. And you look at Otterbein and Ella Schwartefeger, what she's been able to do as a sophomore. And this will be a one-on-one opportunity. A shot off the right side, blocked. And what a stop. What a stop by the goalkeeper. Madeline Martin-Kosher gets her gloves on and hits it out and up. A huge stop for John Carroll, and you just kind of look at what Schwartefeger has done. That will only be her 7th goal allowed this season in 12, now 13 games played. Just a great goals against average. Came into this game with a .59 goals against average, just knocking out everything through the water. Her freshman year, a .97 goals against average. And this season, a .59. Has an 8-2-2 record. And just a bad mistake. Not really something she can try to fix. Not really necessarily her fault on the goal. Otterbein will need to stick with it, though, in the second half. Still plenty of time to goal. John Carroll has done a lot in this second half. But if you look at the totals, Otterbein nearing and creeping up to their shots average per game. Have 13, John Carroll 6, but John Carroll has made it count when needed to. But Otterbein, a very good game so far, shot-wise, 13 shots, 7 on goal, and a huge defensive stop by John Carroll. That'll be given right to number 30, Sarah Genoso, who had the assist on the goal. As a Schwarzenegger will have the ball. She'll bring it out and go for the kick. Be right at the 40-yard line. And it just feels like you have a mountain to climb if you're the Cardinals. Just a big mistake. It's hard not to emphasize what happened there as it just goes off the foot. It looked like it's trying to get it back to the goalie of Schwarzenegger, but off the foot of the Cardinal and just went up just barely below the crossbar and bounced in, and Schwarzenegger just not able to get to it, and just a costly error by the Cardinals. And now it feels like they have a mountain to climb. One goal in a game like this feels like 2 or 3. Still plenty of time to go, though. And that'll be skied, and the field goal is good. That'll be kicked right through the uprights for John Carroll. Otterbein has the throw and playing very quickly here. Now there's only so much time left in this game. John Carroll just trying to play defensive and stick with it. Throwing by John Carroll. You kind of talk about the other teams in the OAC. Look at what's been going on, especially volleyball. There's been some big games going on there. Otterbein leads the conference at a 5-0 record, 16-7. They're at John Carroll right now, who's 3-2, 14-7. And the teams right behind them, Marietta 5-1 in the conference, 10-10 overall though. But right there. And there's been a lot of games so far, and plenty to go in volleyball. And so far today, Otterbein and John Carroll and Marietta won in 3 sets, so that will move their record up in the conference. And Ohio Northern won as well. Look at the men's side in men's soccer. Otterbein is also taking on John Carroll. John Carroll 5-0 in the conference. That would be a huge win for the Cardinals if they could upset the Blue Streaks. Otterbein looking to try to get the ball back to Schwarzenegger, and that they will do. She will go right at about close to midfield. John Carroll will have it right there. You can see there's tripping and falling. You can hear that the fans of John Carroll very unhappy about the calls not being made. As the Blue Streaks now get a couple subs to come in. Number 5 for the Blue Streaks, Abby Smith, one of the starters, the sophomore midfielder, will now come in. As Otterbein will make a change as well. And coming out for Otterbein is number 17, Emma West. And looking to go back in for John Carroll is number 11, Madison Rosardo. Otterbein has the ball, looking up the middle of the field. No one around, just John Carroll everywhere on that. And you look at the men's game, John Carroll versus Otterbein. John Carroll and Otterbein tied after 73 minutes played for the men's game. Otterbein looking to get the win. A tie would keep John Carroll in first. And you look at the team stats for that entire game. As John Carroll has really dominated 16-6 shots for Otterbein. Shots on goal 5 for John Carroll. Just have had no opportunities. And this might be another score for John Carroll. And just not getting back in time is Schwartefigger. That'll be right in the hands. The ball was up in the air. Schwartefigger comes out of the box. And almost another costly error for Otterbein. And a couple shots for the men's team. Nick Isaac has a shot, and his brother, Will Isaac, has a shot and a shot on goal. Just trying to keep things alive. Is Otterbein in the conference, looking to win the regular season title. John Carroll will play very aggressive so far here. And now under 10 minutes to go in the half, well under on just about 7, well over 6 and some change. Otterbein needs to work quickly here if they want any opportunity at getting a tie or possibly the win. As they're gonna, you can see the bench of Otterbein very frustrated. A player knocked down. They wanted a foul on that, and they're gonna maybe get it here. And that won't be hit out. That'll be a free kick. Looked like it maybe could have been a card. Maybe could have been a PK and maybe a penalty kick as well, as Brandon Coons was going off on the referee down the sideline. Is not happy with those calls, but a free kick opportunity now, and that'll be hit out by John Carroll. Otterbein pleading for any help from the referees. Sprinting after that one is Otterbein. They're going to keep it in bounds. Go in for the cross, as Otterbein not able. Another opportunity here. I'll be up into the air down the left side. The fans are giving it to the referees, and that'll be a free kick opportunity. Otterbein needs to take advantage of these if they want any chance. And it looks like you're going to see the coach and maybe trainer come out. And it looks like a little bit of a problem now. See some subs start to trickle in as player will be escorted off the pitch. And now the free kick by Otterbein. That'll be inside. They're going to blow the play dead. Limping back to the sideline was another whip inside. That will be up in the air. Otterbein looking to get back to that one. That will be off to the right. off the header, and coming back limping was Patterzik, one of the star forwards for this John Carroll team. And now another opportunity at the corner. That'll be hit out. A shot opportunity here right down the middle. Another one off the volley. Not able to get enough power onto it. That'll be up in the air again. Another header opportunity. Just plenty of time sitting in the box and right inside pretty much the 10-yard line of Otterbein. Finally, John Carroll gets it out, boots it back to the 40, and Otterbein had a lot of opportunities. It'll be a one-on-one maybe. Now be hit back to the Cardinals. And finally, that will be possession to Otterbein. The referee sees a little bit of shoving is what he's going to call. It'll be another free kick opportunity. Otterbein just put it into perspective in this second half. We're going to see the moves in, and now we're going to go for the free kick. That will be inside the goal, and that will be up and coming back out. John Carroll has it. Now will be given back. Now a throw in. It's so far in the second half, it's been all Otterbein, especially on those free kick opportunities. Have 5 corners in this second half as they look to try to do anything to get back into this game. Under 3.5 to go. I'll be inside. A shot opportunity possibly not there. I'll be over the head of the nearest Otterbein player. Otterbein looking to do whatever they can. And they will get another corner. This will make it 6 in the second half. Look at the first half. Will now be 9 corners. That one will be right off the head of the John Carroll player. And you can see Madeline Martin Kosher just kind of gives her a little thank you, kind of taps her on the shoulders. If you don't get your head up, that could have been a possible goal score for the Cardinals. Now we're going to see a 10th corner on the night, and that will be right into the hands of Madeline Martin Kosher. And what opportunities that was for Otterbein. Just about 2.5 to go. See the whistle blow, and the clock will continue. And what plays by John Carroll have 4 saves in this half. Otterbein, 9 shots in this half. Have 10 corners overall, 7 alone in the later stages of this game. That'll be out. Just now 2 minutes to go. Got to play quickly if you're Otterbein. Maybe want to try to put some more people up. Does not have done that yet. That'll be hit back to Schwartefeger. She's going to come all the way out to grab that one. She's going to need to go quickly here. John Carroll controlling the pace right now in Otterbein's half. That's going to be a push from behind. That's going to be all for John Carroll. And a big mistake for the Cardinals. That will set up the free kick if the clock continues to tick down. And Otterbein, 2 on that. That'll be a throw-in. And a minute remaining in the closing stages of this one. John Carroll up 1-0. Otterbein looking to try to get back in it. Have a minute to go. John Carroll just trying to keep it away from Otterbein. And that'll be Otterbein ball, but a little bit trying to figure out who's going to take that kick. And that wastes time, and now we're going to see even more time wasted off the clock. That will now be a throw to John Carroll. 25 seconds left. Pretty grim if you're the Cardinals. That one will be hit out. And someone's got to grab the ball and throw it in as quick as possible. Under 15 seconds to go. And that'll do it. That will be hit out, and that will end the game. And the showdown is over. John Carroll continues the win streak, moved to 7-0 and 6-0 in the conference. Otterbein falls after a 5-game win streak, moved to 5-1 in the conference. That firmly puts John Carroll in the driver's seat. And it all started because of a score by Emma West and an assist by Mercero. And that will do it for us here at Otterbein TV. I've been Micah Flack alongside with you, and we wish you a good night.